when I talk to parents and they ask me a similar question, I always say, if you're worried about screwing up your kids, don't worry about it. Of course you will, you know? Um, because anything that we haven't worked out in ourselves, we're pretty much likely to pass it on to our kids. So the issue is not about being perfect parents, which most of us will never going to be. I certainly wasn't. But it is about how do we handle those eruptions of our unconscious that may be hurtful to our kids. So there's two things about that. One is if you get triggered around your kids, then go back to my metaphor of the trigger. And what they did is some little thing, but the explosive material that's inside you. So use that as a teaching. When that happens, go back and conduct an inquiry with yourself. And I can do that if you want in a minute. So it's a powerful opportunity to learn. And there's a book by Dan Siegel called Parenting from the Inside Out, which is about using our problems with our kids to learn about ourselves. That's the first thing. So rather than judging ourselves, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Well, yeah, maybe you shouldn't have. But rather than being judgmental about it, just be curious. What got triggered here? And the more you look at that, the less likely you will be to get triggered. Okay, that's the first point. The second point is, don't make the kid do the work of having to repair the bridge. Because when you erupt at your child, you are breaking that interpersonal bridge where there's safety and there's acceptance and there's attunement. You can't help it. You've broken that bridge. Don't make the child work to rebuild it. When you're good, then we can talk, or when you've apologized, no. The child should never do anything that breaks that bridge. Never. Nothing that the child ever does should break that bridge. So when that bridge gets broken, you do the work you do the repair work. Not out of guilt, but just out of practicality and love for the child. Number 3, we all have a tendency as parents to catastrophize our children, to look at what we've done and project the worst possible outcomes in the long term. Oh my God, what have I done? What you're doing is you're being a human being. So don't look at your kids through the eyes of guilt. They don't want to be your mistake. They don't want to be a representative and a manifestation of your sins. They just want to be themselves. So when we look at them through the eyes of our own guilt, we're not seeing them. So those are the 3 things I would say. Now, having said that, so if you want to look at a specific example where you got triggered, if you want to do that, we can do that. We can kind of look at what happened here. But that's up to you whether you want to engage with that or not. Without doing that, there was that 3-pronged response of use it as a learning opportunity. Don't make the kid work to rebuild the bridge, and don't project guilt onto them. Don't project your guilt onto them.
We provide you with the certification and the credentials you need to teach mindfulness in professional settings. I invite you to check out our webpage at teach.mindfulnessexercises.com to learn more about the program, and I look forward to seeing you on the inside.